Anybody out there? This isn't right. Somebody just tell me what I did, please. Can somebody just tell me? Gosh, just talk to somebody. Let me go.
Ross Jason Boehm live, the 58th, 2017, 10:44 a.m. Cloudy gray day. Looks like it rained last night. Well, serfs, slaves, living in poverty, working, or poverty, living on assistance, or poverty, living on the street. Different tiers of it. Or poverty, working, from paycheck to paycheck, because we never have enough to live by. Never coming up with enough money for the assets of a down payment on the house to live in our society. Never to have any assets at all. Living in other people's dwellings like the serfs did in medieval days. Working in the area, trying to find a job to make ends meet. To pay the high overpriced rents to live there. To buy their foods and goods they bring into that area or system. And that's right. As long as you're not wrecking the properties of your landlords and can handle the rent increases per year, can stay in their houses, paying off their materials, their goods, so they get richer and you stay poor. Human trafficking and control, slavery, violation of human rights. You never own anything in life because you're always street bound next week. You have a 2-week disaster and you're done because you're only entitled to 2 weeks vacation. End of story. We're all serfs and slaves in this world and we amount to nothing in life. It doesn't matter if you make $100,000 a year or $50,000 a year. We are all living paycheck to paycheck, and in less than a month, you can lose every asset in a disaster, or you were unable to work for that time frame. How does a doctor get 7 months sabbatical, hey? Merely makes you figure how it works. And these disasters on TV that they're looking for volunteers to do sandbagging, they have 50,000 military sitting there doing nothing. They can get off their training exercises and go and do the work too. Plus you got the police forces, firefighters, and medical staff. If you want a job in our government, in the medical industry, military, police, doctor, lawyer, teacher, civic worker, I expect you to take the military forced evaluation fitness test every year, and you're only entitled to a 4-year contract too. In communism, you're working for the government and getting a guaranteed full-time wage. Not like privatization. We don't get anything like that or any benefits. All we get is mistreated and ignorant torture of psychological games strung along, thinking we're going to have something in life, and we have nothing. A computer is nothing. It's a piece of garbage that every 10 days or 10 years you have to replace because it's outdated. Yep. That 200 pounds of weight doesn't lie. It's always 200 pounds, and it's always worth $1 a pound. Just so ask Fitness XTX in town, how much 10 pounds or 1 pound of weight? $1.55 per pound to buy a plate of 45. Something like that. Scrapyard, 16 cents for scrap metal with paint on it. It's the end of the story. We are all serfs and slaves, and we don't get human dignity and human rights as well. And we're always violating human rights laws and ethics because all we are is the lowest people on the totem pole. You want to assault somebody and take away their natural hormones in life called testosterone in a male like me and cause obesity and harm them and take away their human rights? I guess we don't have a society worth living in. You just killed me in life for 16 to 20 years for no reason. I already knew this before, and assaulted my life even more. Yeah, you killed a human being for no reason because of discrimination and ignorance. Telling us that everything you taught us in life is a lie from K to 12 and afterwards. Because no doors are open unless you have the access code, the right money, the right education to get more education or get into a union job of trade work / construction. Unless you got the right access code or the key, you'll never get in. Plain and simple. Ross Jason Boehm Live on May the 8th, 2017. And this is not a hospital. There's 25 pounds. There's 50 pounds in total. Right there in the window. Brand new. That's $35 a piece, eh? And a coffee table that's not finished. Solid maple made with Mr. Ramsfield at Cedar Hill in Victoria in the shop class.
The serfs who belonged to the manors never got rich. They were at the bottom of feudal society because they owned no land. Serfs were not even allowed to move away from a manor without the lord's permission, because his wealth depended on the labor they supplied. The lord rewarded his serfs for the service of their labor by giving them a place to live, a share of the crops they raised, and protection during dangerous times. Because serfs owned no land, they had nothing to pass down from one generation to the next, so their families always remained poor. In their manor villages, they were not even allowed to grind their own grain into flour for bread. Instead, they had to pay to have it ground at the lord's mill. In feudal society, even though serfs produced nearly all the food, did most of the hard labor, and were the largest class of people, they had few rights and almost no opportunity for education. As a result, it was nearly impossible for them to rise above the poverty that ruled their lives.
Human rights. There are 30 of them. They belong to you. You don't have to buy them, or apply for them, or ask permission to have them. They're just yours. No matter who you are, where you're from, how old you are, or anything else. It's just that simple. Now, some people may try to ignore your rights, or violate them, or pretend they don't exist. But they can't change the fact that they're yours. Human right number 30. No one can take away your human rights. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.